Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday, 25th of April. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to finish unboxing. And what I've got in here is these two books. Now, I've already done an unboxing of Quantum Starfarer, which is a very stripped down version of the Traveller derived rules, the Surface system, which is basically a Traveller retro clone, and this is published by Stellagama Publishing. And so what I've got here is Solar Sagas, which is a retro future setting for Quantum Starfarer. Solar Sagas is a retro-futuristic science fiction setting for Quantum Starfarer. It is set in the interplanetary future populated by 1940s and 1950s science fiction, where the only way to view other worlds was a telescope and a keen imagination. Rocket ships fly between the various planets and planetoids of our solar system, many of which being inhabitable in the retro-future sci-fi tradition, interacting with as many inhabitants and unravelling its mysteries. Keep your blaster hot, don your bubble helmet, the retro future awaits. Includes 4 rules for designing and interpreting retro futuristic rocket ships for Quantum Starfarer. Requires Quantum Starfarer to play. Also compatible with Cephas Atom and Barbaric for those wishing to include mutations and fantastic elements in their vintage solar system. So, this is a vintage science fiction role-playing game. It's reminiscent of Space 1889, where you have the different planets occupy different species. So obviously, you have the red Martians on Mars, you have lizard men on the hothouse jungles of Venus, and even stranger things out in the outer planets and on the moons, Europa, and so on. So this is, this is a lot of early work, for example, by Robert Heinlein springs to mind. Red Planet, Space Cadet, that sort of thing, and they're not necessarily set within this, all set within the solar system, but it's that kind of tone. So, open up. We've got the introduction and basic contents page. Introduction, quick explanation as to who Stellagama Publishing are, and so on. Explains what the game is, the setting. Overview, old is new, the unknown, telemorphism, characters, technology, planets, and so on, discussing the fair elements essentially that go into making up this genre and this setting. And then got a stat block. That's the explanation of stat blocks for NPCs before we get into the descriptions of the various planets. So Earth, including, so we've got, each of these begins with common knowledge. What do you know about your homeworld, or this planet? And then inside information about some of its secrets and background. Rumours, prominent NPCs, and the like. So we've got numerous NPCs. And then we get on to do exactly the same for Luna, or the Moon. We've got information, inside information, and privileged information. And then prominent NPCs, important locations. Mars, and it's going to do this same concept, throughout the book as we move through the solar system. Basically, got a rocket ship there. Mercury. So let me see what it says about Mars, because obviously, it's, Martians are humanoids, have ruddy skin, 10 fingers, 10 webbed toes to let them run along sand. Their eyes are narrow and have an extra eyelid to protect against ultraviolet and wind-blown sand, and so on. They possess spindly limbs with a wiry strength and barrel chest to aid in breathing. Mars thin air. So yeah, that kind of sounds like sort of like the classic interpretations of the species you would find on Mars if it was populated. So flipping through Venus. So essentially, the creatures on Venus are a bit different. They're called they're human-sized, have extra set of medial limbs that aim in climbing and riding. Their skin is smooth but tough enough to resist a knife blade. They have compound eyes to help them see in a world that's mostly foggy. They have no external ears. Yeah. Okay. So again, inside information. And then we move to the outer, basically to beyond the inner planets. We've got Ceres, the asteroid, the largest of asteroids, almost a planet in its own right. So there we have, basically by the time humans came to Ceres, the Martians and others already got there. There's been mining, which has been plagued with accidents. It's inhabited. But that's privileged information. And it's advised that you wear magnetic boots in case shots might be traded and you'd be shot off the asteroid. So the prominent local MPs called Viggo Marley, Dark Sun's pirate captain, and then Ivan Johnny Kutsov, life support guild lieutenants. You've kind of got life support guild lieutenants, almost like a Star Patrol organisation. Then we get into the belt proper. Jupiter, and again, essentially it is more or less a gazetteer of the different worlds of the solar system and their inhabitants. So Ganymede. What else we got? Callistans. It's an interesting note that sort of like you have all these different moons occupied and inhabited with native species. Generally most science fictions kind of concentrate on one or two different worlds that have them, the inner planets, then a few in the outer worlds. This is almost like the moons, and every moon itself is occupied by a different species. And then we have other corners. So the solar system is not entirely known to Earthlings. The newest space travellers, Golden Age science fiction made use of undiscovered planets in different regions of the solar system, including awaiting characters to explore the fictional worlds. Include the mysterious planet X lurking beyond Pluto. There's even a hidden world inside the Hollow Earth. A popular fictional planet was Vulcan, the closest to the Sun. So, and they have their own version of Vulcan closest to the Sun. And then options for non-humans as player characters: Vulcanoids, Mercurian, Insect, Centaur, Grothuk, Mercurian Fae, Selenites, Earth cyborgs, Martians, and more. And these require relatively little modification to add them to Quantum Starfarer, because the rules themselves are very much stripped down. You have no stats, you've got skills and skills, and then you have life points, and then we have rules for environmental hazards on these different worlds, because they're all different atmospheres. Robots. With a bestiary of NPCs and creatures, or beasts and others. Retro rockets, the tyranny of the rocket equation. Talking about classic kind of starship rockets like that. That have to land vertically and then take off again. Obviously in science fiction, that's been heavily influenced more recently by advances in technology of our own, and then of course if it's Star Trek or or other settings, by the use of teleportation devices. So extra equipment, including secondary craft like interceptors, gigs, bombers, skiffs, and transports, and then rules for inventions because why not? Fits into the genre. And the advanced science of these other species, is exactly the sort of mysteries and strangeness that the player characters are going to come up against when they go out and investigate these worlds. We have options for finances and fuel and propellant and so on if you want to include them. So finance is the hard part. Pretty much sums it up. Even taking on passengers and trading if you want to across the solar system. And then we've got an example. I mean, the other thing that you could do with this is take it and if you've got access, say, to say the Buck Rogers role-playing game, use the rules here. Probably a lot easier and simpler. We've got different ship types you might encounter out there in the unknown and so on. Useful charts at the back. So yeah, that's Solar Sagas, a retro future setting for Quantum Starfarer from Stellagama Publishing. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.